Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, distinguished delegates, colleagues and friends, welcome to this seminal occasion in the life of Indiana University, the inauguration of our 18th president, Michael A. McRobbie. My name is Kurt Simic. I am president of the Indiana University Foundation, and I'm honored to serve as your master of ceremonies today. As we begin our ceremony this afternoon, flanked by the richly colored flags representing IU's extensive global reach, Austin Kness, a graduate student in vocal performance at the Jacobs School of Music, will lead us in singing of the national anthem. Please be seated. Please join me in thanking Professor David Zubay, who composed and conducted the inaugural fanfare in honor of President McRobbie, and the IU Herald Trumpeters who played it so beautifully. Also, we thank Professor Christopher Young, who provided the processional music on our magnificent 118-year-old organ, as well as Mr. Kness. Today's inauguration occurs 187 years after the founding of Indiana University, and I ask you to step back in time with me for just a moment. Indiana had been a state for only 4 years when this great university was founded in 1820. Bloomington was then inhabited by a mere 300 souls who lived in homes clustered around the town square, which was surrounded by forests and wilderness. The fledgling academy consisted of 2 buildings, 1 faculty member, and 12 students. Andrew Wiley was named the first president in 1829, and IU began to grow, and it never stopped. Where there was once 2 buildings in 1 small town, there are now 8 campuses and several educational and medical centers dotting the entire state. All are vital forces in their regions. Their graduates provide intellectual inspiration and leadership in business, culture, and community service. We took our place on the world stage as well, thanks in large part to the leadership of Herman B. Wells. Looking back to the accomplishments of his administrations in the 40s and 50s, Dr. Wells wrote, "We may have been a little ahead of our time, but I would hope that the work of that period has stimulated in part the current widespread realization of the interdependence of the peoples of the world, politically, socially, and economically." Dr. Wells, of course, lived to see many of his dreams come to fruition. But what do you suppose our founders would say if they could see Indiana University today? What do you suppose they would make of the advancements that allow us to do things like streaming this ceremony to our friends and alumni around the world? Incidentally, we're delighted to send you all of our greetings from here in Bloomington. Today, Indiana University inaugurates Michael A. McRobbie, a native of Australia. Dr. McRobbie's intelligence and vision in the decade he has been on these shores have helped to ensure a bright future for this institution. He has accepted the weighty responsibility of this new office with energy and grace. We are privileged to have on the platform some of those leaders who have made Indiana University what it is today. This group of distinguished individuals includes honored friends of the university and the senior officers as well. A complete listing of the platform party begins on page 14 of your program. We are particularly pleased to welcome B. Patrick Bauer, Speaker of the Indiana House of Representatives. The Speaker is a member of the Board of Advisors for Indiana University South Bend and holds a graduate degree from IU. Also in our audience today are other members of the Indiana General Assembly and Attorney General Steve Carter. Would you please join me in welcoming all of them? I now ask the trustees of Indiana University to stand as I introduce them. Please hold your applause until all are standing. Stephen L. Ferguson of Bloomington, President of the Trustees. Patrick A. Shoulders of Evansville, Vice President. William R. Cast of Fort Wayne. Philip N. Eskew of Carmel. Jack M. Gill of Houston, Texas. Arthur D. King of Columbus. Thomas E. Riley, Jr. of Indianapolis. Derica W. Rice of Carmel. And Sue H. Talbot of Bloomington. Please join me in greeting our trustees. Five past presidents of Indiana University, to whom we are deeply indebted for their long-standing commitment to IU, are with us today. Their services date from 1971 through June of 2007. Please welcome John Ryan. Thomas Ehrlich. Miles Brand. Gerald L. Bepko. And Adam W. Herbert. We are extremely pleased to welcome the presidents of institutions from within the state of Indiana who led the procession of delegates and faculty today. Please join me in greeting the presidents of St. Mary of the Woods College, Butler University, Purdue University, Ivy Tech Community College, and Holy Cross College. Welcome. In addition, with us are the leaders and representatives of several international institutions, some of whom traveled thousands of miles to join us today. We're honored to have them with us, and I ask you to join me in greeting the delegates of Sukun Kwan University in Seoul, the University of Toronto, the University of London, the Autonomous University of the State of Hidalgo, Mexico, the University of Queensland, the Australian National University, Moi University of Kenya, Mahasarakham University of Thailand, the American University of Central Asia and Kyrgyzstan, and Southeast European University in Macedonia. Welcome. Also seated in the audience are delegates of other great universities and colleges from the Hoosier State and across the country. They are joined by representatives of learned societies and educational organizations, as well as faculty, staff, and student delegates from all of IU's campuses. We acknowledge their presence with gratitude and ask them to stand for our greetings. Finally, it is my pleasure to recognize the academic deans of Indiana University who are seated on the platform. They are the leaders of the schools that are the heart of the academy and at the center of the teaching, learning, and research that goes on every day in the university. Will you please stand and will you join me in greeting them? Ladies and gentlemen, we have invited a few individuals to bring greetings from key constituencies on this occasion. Our first speaker is the Honorable Becky Skillman, Lieutenant Governor of the state of Indiana. She brings greetings from the state. Lieutenant Governor Skillman.
Well, it's my honor to formally welcome Dr. McRobbie as president of this esteemed institution. You know, we have very high expectations for Indiana University. Any school that carries the name of our beloved Hoosier State has an even greater responsibility to excel. I know that Dr. McRobbie is well prepared to lead that charge. Indiana University was our first state-chartered institution, and its legacy over the years has been strong and true. Our best and our brightest students have entered school here, and they've left with the tools to build very impressive careers. Many of them have gone on to achieve great success, and we know that the education they received here has always made that possible. Without great institutions like IU, our state's future would be shaky at best. IU has given generations of Hoosiers the opportunity to build lifelong careers and the security to start families on the solid foundation of that excellent education. With diploma in hand, IU students set out to put down roots. It's our hope that they will put down roots right here at home in Indiana. The governor and I have made Indiana's economic health our #1 priority, and we believe the health of our universities is very much tied to our state's economic health. When great institutions like IU can attract world-class faculty and train and retain fine people like Dr. McRobbie, we can offer the entire world to our young people right in their own backyards. They can learn here, and when they graduate, we want them to know they can live here. Our partners in education are the cornerstone of Indiana's economic success. Higher education provides us with a homegrown, highly skilled workforce, a workforce that is vital to securing Indiana's economic future. I'm proud that Indiana University is always looking to the future, teaching the skills Hoosiers need for the jobs they want. As Indiana moves forward, IU is moving with us. Our state is growing. Where we used to be primarily manufacturers and industrialists, we are now increasingly known for our expertise in health and life sciences. Many Hoosiers in agriculture are now energy gurus. We're growing in new directions, and Dr. McRobbie's extensive leadership experience will serve our state well in these changing times. With campuses all over the state and the great progress that we make every day, we need a leader like Dr. McRobbie at the helm of one of our greatest universities. He is already familiar with the successes and the challenges that the university and the state face. I'm confident that under his leadership, those challenges will be met, will be conquered, and the success will be celebrated with great IU pride. Indiana University's relationship with the state can only continue to flourish. In President McRobbie, we have secured an exceptional leader, one who will be a faithful steward of research and education, and one who will continue to build on the great tradition and the legacy of Indiana University. President McRobbie, once again, I offer you my most sincere congratulations on behalf of the state. I wish you the best in your new role. The governor and I look forward to working with you to strengthen the great state of Indiana. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Skillman, for your greetings and for your presence at this inauguration ceremony. Two of the doctors sitting to my left up here, Drs. Cast and Dr. Eskew, tell me that Dr. Otis Bowen is here. Dr. Governor Bowen, if you are here, and they wouldn't have told me otherwise, please stand for our greetings. Dr. Otis Bowen, I see him in the back. What a great Hoosier. Representing the community in which IU was founded is the Mayor of the City of Bloomington, the Honorable Mark Cruzan. Mr. Mayor.
This is an extraordinary and exciting day. For the first time ever, I had a reserved parking space for me on the Indiana University campus. As mayor, of course, I am responsible for today's weather. I officially apologize if you need an umbrella later. I was asked to help start Michael McRobbie's rain, and I misunderstood the request. My staff asked me to inform you that I do indeed write my own material. And speaking of material, I have to tell you that I love to watch my dogs eat their food. It's totally dry material. It's hard to swallow, but they look completely content and sincere as they do it. It's much like watching an administrator speak at a faculty council meeting. I do bring greetings from the city of Bloomington, home of Indiana University, and offer congratulations and thanks to both Laura and Michael McRobbie. It's not an overstatement to say that I owe my life first to my parents and second to Indiana University. The day I graduated 25 years ago this August was the saddest, happiest day in my life. I did not want the IU experience to end. This great institution has shaped lives and created opportunity for hundreds of thousands of people. And if you are associated with IU, you have shaped lives and created opportunity for hundreds of thousands of people, and I hope that you never take that fact for granted. From a city perspective, our town would not be our town if it were not for Indiana University. IU is the heart and soul of Bloomington. It's the heart that pumps life into the community's economic vitality, and it's the soul that provides the spiritual sense of this being a special place. From a personal perspective, I want to specifically acknowledge two traits that Michael McRobbie brings to office. First, he makes my name sound exotic whenever he says it in Australian. Mark Cruzan becomes Mark Cruzan, and it has much more power behind it. More importantly, he is working hard to bring unique opportunity to Bloomington and to the state of Indiana as he embarks upon a compelling and visionary mission, keeping Indiana University a premier liberal arts research institution in a competitive national environment with diminishing resources is no small task. Michael McRobbie is already employing support of all who love this university as you become its 18th president. Good luck and Godspeed.
Thank you, Mayor Cruzan, for being with us. Not quite. Michael says not quite. We welcome Bart Ing, the Marvin L. Bittinger Chair and Professor of Mathematical Sciences and Co-Secretary of the Indiana University Faculty Council, who brings greetings from the faculty.
President McRobbie, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends of IU, I am honored to be here to represent the dedicated faculty of Indiana University in welcoming our 18th president. All great institutions that have stood the test of time share two important attributes: a steadfast commitment to a set of enduring values and an ability to adapt and to change in response to contemporary challenges and opportunities. Indiana University has a distinguished academic history that began nearly 2 centuries ago with the founding of a campus in Bloomington. The more recent growth in Indianapolis and other campuses has added enormous richness to the intellectual tapestry that is IU today. We need now to find the best way to leverage the strengths of the different parts of our university so that we can bring our formidable intellectual assets to bear on advancing the common good. President McRobbie, the faculty knows that you will embrace, protect, and foster the strong academic values that are at the core of this great university. We trust that you will also respect, inspire, and empower each campus and academic unit to seek out new challenges and the collaborative opportunities to develop to its full potential. President McRobbie, the faculty's expectations are high, and the challenges we face together are daunting. However, the opportunity for IU to achieve greater distinction under your leadership are greater still. The faculty has every confidence that your clear vision and extraordinary talent will carry us forward. On this day of renewal and rededication, we pledge our support, and we will work with you through shared governance to make IU all that it can be, a truly magnificent university that will continue to prosper and endure. Congratulations, President McRobbie.
Thank you, Professor Ng. At Indiana University, the vibrant sound of music traditionally marks significant moments in its life. We're delighted to present one of our remarkable faculty members in performance with the premier orchestral ensemble of the Jacobs School of Music. It is my pleasure to introduce a dear friend and a great lady, soprano Sylvia McNair, and the Indiana University Philharmonic Orchestra, which will be conducted by Professor David Efron. Together they will perform 3 selections from the Song of Auvergne by Joseph Canteloube. Absolutely marvelous. Sylvia, Maestro, thank you so very much. You know, Michael picked all the music for this. I think he did well. In the first iteration of this script, there was a notation of where the words for that were, and they took it out of my script. I would not have sung along, Michael. It had been fine. Just wonderful. Our next two speakers represent IU students and staff. First to come to the podium will be Matthew Jarson, president of the All-University Student Association. Matt is a senior at IU Bloomington, majoring in political science, and he'll bring greetings on behalf of all of Indiana University's students. He will be followed by Yolanda Trevino, Assistant Dean of the Indiana University Graduate School, who will bring greetings from the university's staff. Each will speak without further introduction.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and privilege to be representing all of IU students this auspicious occasion. On reflection, university, in my view, is about new beginnings. It's about new semesters, new projects, new students, new colleagues. For freshmen, it's about beginning a whole new life. And for seniors, it's about stepping into that area that we like to call the real world, or even more frightening, graduate study. But today's beginning cuts across curricula, campuses, and careers and affects all over 100,000 of us. And I've got to tell you, as students, we're a little excited. We don't know just what will happen, but we look forward to new challenges and opportunities. President McRobbie has already traveled up and down the state, visiting campuses, engaging students, holding office hours here in Bloomington and Indianapolis. He's created student advisory committees to help him craft a vision of the ideal college living environment for the 21st century. There's a new energy throughout the university, a new perspective, and we're excited about change and about progress. And we know that working together, we will build the future of this university. So in short, no pressure, Mr. President, we expect great things. Herman Wells always attributed his great success to luck. Well, Mr. President, on behalf of all of Indiana University students, congratulations, and as Herman Wells would say, remember to be lucky.
Distinguished guests and friends, good afternoon. My name is Yolanda Trevino, and I'm honored to represent the staff of Indiana University. We encompass the diverse responsibilities of the professional staff, support and clerical staff, and technical and maintenance staff in nearly 12,000 positions throughout our 8-campus university. On behalf of my colleagues, it is my honor to say, Bienvenido, Dr. Presidente McRobbie. We welcome you as our new president. As IU staff, we give our time, energy, and dedication to support the pursuit of enlightenment and truth. You can count on our contributions to create an IU that not only welcomes the world and equips its students, but most importantly, transforms lives. We pride ourselves in being more than observers, and when empowered, we deliver our best to make our university a world leader. Do not hesitate to tap our expertise, for we too share in the responsibility to serve as guardians of our university's resources. Many of us first came to IU to study, and upon earning our degrees, found ourselves staying to help others embark on their journey of discovery. I remember being warned as a doctoral student, be careful, or you might find yourself staying here longer than you think. Naively, I thought they referred to the challenges of coursework and long hours of dissertation writing. Little did I know that they actually meant falling in love with this university to the point of becoming part of it and giving back to it. Today, we celebrate your sharing in that same love for IU and your willingness to lead it. So let me close by saying, Felicidades. Estamos listos para trabajar juntos con usted. Congratulations. We are ready to work with you for Indiana University's future.
Thank you, Yolanda and Matt. Thank you for your words of support and welcome for President McRobbie. Our final two speakers represent two organizations that are very close to the heart of Indiana University, the Indiana University Alumni Association and the IU Foundation. Mary Ellen Bishop, the chair of the Alumni Association, will bring greetings on behalf of our alumni, and I have the honor of bringing greetings on behalf of the friends and supporters who generously mean so much to our institution. Mary Ellen.
President McRobbie, distinguished guests, alumni, and friends, good afternoon. With the May commencement ceremonies, the number of living graduates of Indiana University has surpassed 500,000. Those 500,000 graduates, all of whom are here today in spirit, join with the entire university community to express their love for Indiana University and their shared aspiration for its future. The organization that represents them, the Indiana University Alumni Association, was established more than 150 years ago out of a need to serve the university. The association has continued to connect alumni and serve IU for many years and has been a vital partner to 16 Indiana University presidents. Our 18th president, Michael McRobbie, has hit the ground running. The association is actively engaged in finding ways to help make his and our shared vision for IU's future a reality. President John Quincy Adams said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Indiana University is indeed fortunate to have Michael McRobbie as its leader, for he has demonstrated a great capacity for learning. As Vice President for Information Technology, he inspired IU to do and become more. And today, IU is a leader in IT infrastructure and supercomputing capacity. As Vice President for Research, he inspired others to dream more, and today IU is a leading university in life science research. As Bloomington Provost, as a professor, and in all of his roles, he has without question inspired others to learn more. His intellectual curiosity and passion for learning are contagious. The Indiana University Alumni Association congratulates you, Dr. McRobbie, on your inauguration as the 18th president of Indiana University. We look forward to working closely with you as the IU community continues to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. The IU Alumni Association is one of the premier organizations of its kind in the United States. Tom Martz, its president, would be the first to say that volunteer leadership is its greatest assets. From the board of managers to the executive council to the chapter leaders all over the world, the IUAA creates an opportunity for linkage on a scale unequaled anywhere else in the university. IU is equally fortunate in attracting thousands of additional volunteers, key partners who serve on chancellors' councils, on dean's advisory boards, and on programmatic committees such as those for the Center on Philanthropy, the IU Art Museum, or the Kenya Project in Africa. All make invaluable contributions of expertise, work, and financial support. The IU Foundation, through its board of directors and its committee structures, including the Board of Associates, which advises the Student Foundation, brings together an influential group of individuals who are deeply dedicated to IU. Their commitment is to provide IU with the gift resources the university needs to enhance access and quality at each one of the campuses and centers across the state. The IU Foundation directors and committee members come from all corners of the globe, from Newcastle to Cairo, from South Bend to Singapore. In response, IU reposes its central development operation in the foundation. President McRobbie is chairman of that board, just as past IU presidents have been. We are enthusiastic about his chairmanship. Our alumni and other friends in the past fiscal year have continued their remarkable support. IU received more than $278 million from a record 112,195 private donors and grant makers. IU is a national leader in the support it receives from the private sector. It is ranked among the top 20 institutions in the country, public and private, for 15 of the last 17 years. When the rankings are announced a little later this year, it appears that we'll be again in that select group. At the foundation, we like to say, everywhere we look, caring hands have preceded us. Those many, many hands have brought the university to this place and to the stature it enjoys today. President McRobbie, today the IU Foundation stands with you as it has stood with every IU president since William Lowe Bryan in 1936. Through the dramatic growth and changes of the decades, one constant has been the importance of private support and the dedication and commitment of IU's generous donors and friends. I speak for them and for my foundation and IU colleagues in development when I say to you that we are eager to play a role in realizing the strategic vision that you have for Indiana University. So please call on us. To herald your official investiture, we have an opportunity to hear the IU Philharmonic once again, under the baton of Maestro Efren. They will perform the fourth movement of The Pines of Rome by Ottorino Respighi. That is so moving. Thank you. Thank you, Maestro and students. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the central moment of this ceremony, the inauguration of Michael A. McRobbie as 18th President of Indiana University. It's an honor and a privilege to invite Stephen L. Ferguson, President of the Trustees of Indiana University, to come to the podium to preside over the investiture.
Thank you, Kurt. The inauguration of a new president is an important event in the life of a university, a symbolic moment alive with promise and anticipation. Our ancient apparel, the caps, gowns, and hoods, serve to remind us that universities are enduring institutions, deeply rooted in wisdom of the ages. At the same time, the future beckons. We stand ready to respond to the call with a sense of passion and urgency. It takes a remarkable individual to lead a remarkable institution. The Board of Trustees has found that individual in Michael A. McRobbie. Today, we place in his hands the welfare of this university, knowing that it will meet future challenges with wisdom, imagination, and vision. And now I ask Michael A. McRobbie and Lori Burns McRobbie to come forward. Next, I call upon Professor Edwin Marshall, Vice President for Diversity, Equity, Multicultural Affairs, and University Grand Marshal, to assist in the investiture. I invite the university's distinguished former presidents to join the incoming president. John Ryan, Tom Early, Miles Brand, Jerry Bepko, Adam Herbert. Finally, I call upon the university's chief academic officers, the Bloomington provost, and campus chancellors to the front of the stage. Charles R. Vance, Executive Vice President and Chancellor of Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. Karen Hansen, Executive Vice President and Provost of Indiana University, Bloomington. Bruce W. Berglund, Chancellor of IU Northwest. Nasser A. Paydar, Interim Chancellor of IU East. Ruth J. Pearson, Chancellor of IU Kokomo. Sandra Patterson Randalls, Chancellor of IU Southeast. Una May Reck, Chancellor of IU South Bend. Displayed before you are the emblems of the office of President. The mace has been the symbol of authority since medieval times and has been used on ceremonial occasions for hundreds of years. The IU mace is carried by the Grand Marshal and is embossed with the seals of Indiana University and the state of Indiana. The jewel that the President wears is rich in meaning. The design of the medallion and the chain in front of which it stands and are inspired by the arbutus, the university flower. 3 precious stones within the jewel represent reading, writing, and arithmetic. Another 3, the arts, the sciences, and humanities. Now, will you please all stand? Michael A. McRobbie, by authority vested in me as President of the Trustees of Indiana University, I hereby invest in you as President of Indiana University. Upon you fall the powers, duties, and responsibilities of this high office. The symbols of authority and responsibility I deliver to you for your keeping. I ask the Grand Marshal and Lloyd Burns McRobbie to place upon you the chain and jewel of office, which are symbols of the presidency of Indiana University. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of Indiana University, the 18th President. There'll be a slight pause for pictures up here.
Thank you all very much. I assume I'm the one who's meant to tell you that you should be seated. Thank you. It is fitting and appropriate to begin an inauguration address by offering my most sincere thanks to the many people who have honoured me and Indiana University by their presence here today. To President Steve Ferguson and the Board of Trustees, thank you for the faith you have shown in me and for your enthusiastic support and wise counsel. I'm delighted that so many former trustees could also join us today. I'm deeply honoured that former Indiana University Presidents John Ryan, Tom Ehrlich, Miles Brand, Jerry Bepko and Adam Herbert are here today. You represent many decades of strong leadership guiding the university during times of tremendous change, both locally and globally, and we owe you all our deepest gratitude. I'm also pleased to welcome University Chancellor Ken Gross-Lewis, who is so indelibly associated with this campus. I'm very pleased to welcome to the ceremony Australian Ambassador to the United States, Dennis Richardson, my friend, former Ambassador Michael Thorley, and Chicago Consul General Bob Charles. I'm humbled that so many institutions of learning from Indiana and from all over the world are represented here today. I'm delighted that my two alma maters, the University of Queensland and the Australian National University, could be represented today by two of my oldest friends, Jim Nolan and Robin Stanton. My thanks to Lieutenant Governor Becky Skillman, Speaker Pat Bauer, and Attorney General Steve Carter for being here today. Your presence here, along with members of the state legislature, symbolises the unswerving commitment for nearly 200 years of the state and General Assembly to Indiana University. That IU is the glorious institution it is today is, in large measure, due to this support. On behalf of the whole university community, we thank you with the deepest gratitude. My thanks to Mayor Mark Roseanne, for his kind comments and his unfailing support for IU. To Kurt Simic, My thanks to you for your heartfelt words and for hosting today's ceremony, and for all that you and your colleagues at the IU Foundation and on the Foundation Board have done for IU over your many luminous years there. I'm grateful to Professor Bartning for his generous remarks on behalf of the superb IU faculty. And I move that so many of my fellow faculty members are here today. Yolanda, your presence here today symbolises all of the dedicated and hard-working staff members of IU who are all too often IU's forgotten heroes. My thanks to you for all that you do. Thank you, Matt, for your thoughtful comments on behalf of our excellent student body, with whom I've enjoyed interacting so much since my appointment. Thank you, Mary Ellen, for your kind and generous greetings on behalf of our over 500,000 alumni. And my thanks to all of the university vice presidents, chancellors, deans, and members of my own staff for all you have done to ensure that my first 100 days as president have overflowed with energy and enthusiasm. Finally, I would like to acknowledge my family, and first my children, my Australian children, Josephine, Lucian, and Arabella, and my American children, Carol, Charlie, and Margaret. I'm delighted that my sister Diana could travel all the way from Australia here to represent my Australian family, especially my mother and father who are no longer able to travel. And I'm delighted that my American mother, Eunice Burns, and her daughter Tamara and her son Jamie could be here too. And finally, I want to acknowledge with profound gratitude the love and support of my wife Laurie, IU's First Lady. She is to me the genius of the heart. The inauguration of a new president marks a most auspicious moment in the life of a university. This moment rests on the threshold between the past and the future, and is charged with the energy generated by change. It is a moment to look back to our past excellence, reaffirm our fundamental missions, and chart a course for the coming years in a present that is rich with opportunity and challenge. As we do so, we are aware that ours is an ancient enterprise. Though some may claim that universities are impervious to change, their very history suggests otherwise. In fact, universities are among the most adaptive institutions in human history. From the ancient learned institutions of Asia, the Middle East and Africa, emerged the great medieval European universities of Oxford, Cambridge, and the universities of Bologna and Paris. That these institutions have remained in continuous operation for almost a millennium emphatically confirms the enduring and adaptive nature of the educational endeavour we celebrate today. Like that of its antecedents, Indiana University's history is a story of change in response to the demands of the time. Never was this more true than during the days of Herman Wells. Though his tenure spanned a golden age for American universities as a whole, and for IU in particular, we must not imagine Chancellor Wells captured in amber, a treasured relic of the past. Rather, he was a man of enormous energy and understanding who never stopped trying to make Indiana University even greater. We must keep alive and constantly renew his vision of undaunted pursuit of academic excellence in teaching, discovery, and creative activity. IU, then, is not an institution that is a stranger to change. Its history is one of endurance, adaptation, and renewal. As a great public university, we have two fundamental missions: education and research. Indiana University seeks to provide the best possible education to all of our students, both undergraduate and graduate. It is an education in both breadth and depth, grounded in the practical and the transcendent, and providing a command of the analytical and the expressive. We also seek to conduct path-breaking research and scholarship of the highest international standards, from the most theoretical to the most applied. These have always been the missions of the great universities, from Nalanda University, founded in India in the 5th century BC, until now. They will no doubt be the missions of the great universities far into the future. Of course, our two missions, education and research, mutually reinforce each other. The best education is informed by those immersed in and passionate about their own scholarship. The best research and scholarship is stimulated and rejuvenated by youthful minds full of curiosity and enthusiasm. We are also a public university, supported by and with a responsibility to the citizens of Indiana. They expect us to provide a great education to their sons and daughters. They expect us to do the best research and scholarship, and they expect us to be engaged in the life of the state. Therefore, engagement is a third mission, and it grows out of excellence in education and research. To be properly engaged, we must excel at our two primary missions. My vision for Indiana University should be neither surprising nor controversial. It is to confirm our traditions of excellence in our two fundamental missions of education and research, and by doing so ensure that we will be a leader among the great universities of the 21st century. We are already a great university. Our greatness has been built by the 17 presidents who preceded me and by the tens of thousands of our extraordinary faculty and staff. Our greatness is measured in our over 500,000 living alumni. But as higher education becomes ever more competitive, we must strive for excellence in all aspects of our two fundamental missions. Everything we do concerning these two missions must be seen through the prism of excellence. Everything we do must be judged by what it does to make us greater. Our success in these missions will ensure the success of our engagement in the life of the state, whether it be the IU physician bringing the latest breakthrough from the School of Medicine to the bedside in a Clarion hospital, or the IU-trained teacher helping improve the reading skills of school children in Gary. We are a large and complex statewide university. We must ensure that an IU education is not only excellent, but also accessible and affordable to every citizen in the state, no matter where they come from, no matter what their background, and no matter who they are. Our institution in race, gender, and income should better reflect the full diversity of our state. As Interim President Jerry Bebko put it, IU is an institution that is committed to providing access and opportunity for the broadest range of learners. Under successive presidents, we have carried out much of the strategic planning needed to achieve our missions of excellence. Some of this planning has been implemented, and some of it awaits implementation. My objective in this speech is thus a practical one. I will describe the goals and first initiatives I will take based on this planning. And together, we can realise these goals. Together, we can create a 21st century university in which the impulses towards discovery and learning in their many and varied forms can flourish. Ours are goals of change and renewal, but they are goals focused with laser-like intensity on academic excellence. Many things make a university a world-class institution of research and education, but none is more essential than a world-class faculty. To borrow a phrase from President Ehrlich, this is an environment where teacher is among the highest of accolades. We must renew our commitment to supporting our excellent faculty. 40 years ago, the Board of Trustees recognised the importance of a great faculty when it created the title of Distinguished Professor to honour and help retain IU's most outstanding teachers and scholars. The critical importance of the recruitment and retention of excellent faculty was also recognised by President Brand and the IU Foundation in its record-setting campaign. That campaign helped build the number of endowed positions from around 70 to its present total of over 400, at last count the highest number in the Big Ten. It is now time to build on those foundations. We must reinforce the title of Distinguished Professor to underscore its recognition of distinction by ensuring that in the future its conditions are in line with the other titled professorships. This signals the critical importance that IU attaches to having an outstanding faculty. If we are to strive for excellence, we must recognise it and honour it in our midst. I'm announcing today then the establishment of new professorships at Indiana University to be called fittingly the Herman B. Wells Presidential Professorships. These titled positions will be used solely to recruit new faculty who are at the pinnacle of their professions, such as Nobel laureates, Pulitzer Prize winners, elected members of the National Academies, and elected members of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. We must aim high in recruiting senior scholars, and the Wells Presidential Professorships will be a critical tool for making that possible. Supporting faculty excellence also requires a renewed commitment to building collaboration and cooperation among our campuses. As President Herbert said, the collective strengths and characteristics of our campuses define who we are as an institution. I intend to build upon these strengths. This is especially true with regard to the partnership between our two research campuses in Bloomington and Indianapolis. I've already carried out other initiatives in this area. I announced today the establishment of a $1 million inter-campus research fund. This further expands and deepens cooperation and collaboration between the campuses. And faculty from regional campuses will be encouraged to participate in this program as well. At the same time that we recognise excellent teachers and scholars, Indiana University must take a leadership role to improve our students' educational achievements at all of our campuses. Our regional campuses have a vital mission to provide educational opportunity to IU students who balance work, family and education. As Chancellor Wills explained, this statewide system, together with our other institutions of higher education in Indiana, bring 4 years of college training within 25 miles of 95% of all Indiana high school graduates. We already have many initiatives underway to enhance our statewide efforts to serve non-traditional and underrepresented students. For example, both IUPUI and IU Northwest are working to improve graduation rates among African American men. IU Kokomo encourages students who are a few credits short of a degree to return and complete their education. IU Bloomington has made substantial investments to increase diversity and equity and to support underrepresented students through programs such as the Hudson Holland Scholars, the Pell Promise, and the 21st Century Scholars Covenant. We are working to ensure that the gates of educational opportunity remain wide open to all of the sons and daughters of Indiana. Today I call on all IU campuses to add to these successful programs to help students complete their degrees. We will do this by establishing the Degrees of Excellence Initiative designed to increase graduation rates on all of our campuses. Over the next 5 years, Degrees of Excellence will call upon each campus to set aside 5% of their existing non-academic budgets for initiatives targeting degree or program completion or financial aid. Under it, the very successful Pell Promise and 21st Century Covenant programs established at Bloomington will be extended, where possible, to all campuses. Taken together, this will represent a base investment of $4 million in efforts to help students earn a degree more quickly. This will also help realign existing resources with our key priorities, thus increasing administrative efficiency. Finally, we will work in closer partnership with Purdue University and Ivy Tech in those parts of the state, such as Gary and Richmond, where we can collectively bring greater educational opportunity to the citizens of Indiana. Our efforts to improve graduation rates are closely linked to campus life. Today's students have more choices than ever before in pursuing a college education. A crucial element in these choices is the quality of the student learning and living environment. If we are to attract and retain the best students in the state and nation, we must ensure that both environments are of the highest quality. In recent years, IU Bloomington has done much to improve and modernise the learning environment. However, the living environment, specifically student housing, has remained largely unchanged since the 1960s. To remedy the situation, we plan to upgrade all of the residence halls at IU Bloomington over the next 15 years. In December, I will take a plan to the trustees to immediately commence renovating and developing the first 2,000 rooms into more contemporary accommodation. This renovation will complement our new student housing completed or underway at IUPUI, IU South Bend, and IU Southeast. In the development of both the learning and living environment at IU, we will be guided by the report of the Student-Centered Voice Initiative, which I announced about a month ago. This initiative allows students to provide their views about the living and learning environment of the 21st century. To be one of the great public research universities of the 21st century, our faculty and students must have the tools. They must have the facilities and the space to support learning and research. In August, 2004, I received a report I commissioned that stated that a shortage of space was, quote, possibly the biggest single impediment to IU reaching its full potential as a research university. It stated that we would need about 5 million square feet of space. That is, space equivalent to more than 10 buildings the size of the Indiana Memorial Union over the next 10 to 20 years. The time has come to more fully address this problem. A month ago, we took the first step when I announced that Indiana University would create an integrated master plan to guide future university development. We are very grateful to the Indiana General Assembly for their support for facilities over nearly 200 years. Their support is essential in addressing our facility needs now and in the future, and especially in the repair and rehabilitation of our existing facilities and the operation of all of our future academic facilities. But it is simply impossible for the state to fund all of our needs for space if we are to join the very top tier of the 21st century's public research universities. We must rely in a much more substantial and sustained way on our own resources and the private generosity of the university's alumni and friends. Today I announce the next step in addressing our pressing space needs, construction priorities of up to $250 million for an initiative to construct new buildings and facilities in Bloomington and Indianapolis. Indiana University will initially do this with a matching gift program for this new construction. Tomorrow morning, I will meet with the board of the Indiana University Foundation. I will seek their help and counsel in raising the matching funds for this initiative. The Foundation, under Kurt Simick's outstanding leadership, has been tireless in raising funds for IU. Individual members of its board have been extraordinarily generous. I have every confidence that they will ensure that we achieve the ambitious yet essential goals of this and other initiatives I am describing today. The Space Initiative will commence with new buildings, facilities and classroom space for the arts, humanities and social sciences, international studies, the life sciences and economic development, all areas of highest priority for Indiana University. We plan to break ground on all of these projects within 5 years. The space needs of a number of the professional schools will be evaluated next. This initiative will be on top of the $500 million of construction we presently have underway or planned, and further support we will be requesting from the General Assembly over the next few budget cycles. By early next decade, then, our goal is nothing short of having $1 billion of new construction underway, providing the essential space and facilities to support world-changing and life-enhancing research, education of the highest quality, and innovations to fuel the state's economy. These new spaces open wide vistas of opportunity for all of our faculty and students whose important work adds to IU's many intellectual accolades. We have a magnificent tradition of excellence in the life and health sciences, from Nobel Prizes for fundamental discoveries about the basic building blocks of life itself, to cures and treatments for deadly diseases such as cancer. We also have a superb tradition in the social sciences where complex legal, ethical, social, and cultural issues concerning the life sciences are studied, and in entrepreneurship through the Kelley School of Business. It is this tradition on which we sought to build and for which we sought support through our Life Sciences Initiative during the last session of the General Assembly. It is this tradition for which we will again seek support with renewed vigour during the next legislative session. We will widen this initiative to more fully involve health sciences and natural extinction that includes research into preventable diseases that impact many Hoosiers. And we will give special attention to health disparities among low-income and minority populations. This initiative will also strengthen the life sciences economy of the state through discovery, innovation, and development of new treatments and even cures for diseases that have long plagued the human race. An even stronger Indiana life sciences economy is vital to the state's prosperity as we transition away from our reliance on heavy manufacturing and agriculture. means more jobs and better jobs. And it also means better public health in a state that lags in most measures of wellness. We must also acknowledge the extraordinary support we have received over the last 7 years from the Lilly Endowment, which has provided over $200 million for life sciences research at Indiana University. To more effectively harness the full potential of Indiana University, we must join the talents of our life scientists in Bloomington and Indianapolis, as we detailed in our Life Sciences Strategic Plan. Essential to this effort is Clarion Health, a partnership of Indiana University and Methodist Hospital that includes Riley Hospital for Children, which was formed in 1997. One of the largest health systems in the nation, Clarion helps bring the expertise of the IU School of Medicine faculty and clinicians to nearly every corner of the state and contributes daily to the health and well-being of hundreds of thousands of Hoosiers. Our extensive network of partners in medical education also includes the Wishart Hospital and the Rauderbush VA Medical Center in Indianapolis, as well as healthcare facilities across the state. In Indianapolis, just over 600,000 square feet of new space for teaching and research in the life and health sciences have been constructed or under construction. In Bloomington 2 days ago, we dedicated Simon Hall, the first complete new building for science to have been constructed on this campus in 45 years. But if Bloomington is to fully contribute to the Life Sciences Initiative, it needs more research and teaching space as it does in so many other areas. To help meet that goal, Indiana University will construct a third building for multidisciplinary life sciences research. It will build on Bloomington's traditional strengths in this area in accord with the priorities of IU's Life Sciences Strategic Plan. This emphatically underscores the seriousness of our commitment to our Life Sciences and Health Sciences Initiative. In Indianapolis, our technology incubator, the Emerging Technology Center, is at capacity. We will carefully assess the feasibility of establishing an additional incubator or multi-use facility focusing on life sciences startup companies and including IUPUI's Innovation Center. Engagement in the economic growth of Indiana is, as President Brand repeatedly put it, an obligation for Indiana University as a public university. Our contributions to the economic development and vitality of our state can be seen in countless ways, and they are directly linked to the education and research missions of the institution. Our goal is to provide an excellent education that is both responsive and relevant for our students throughout the state as they prepare for an ever-changing workforce and world or for further study. Likewise, research at IU leads to breakthroughs in basic science of the most fundamental kind, opening our eyes to new aspects of the moral and metaphysical universe. It also leads to new inventions, attracts private investment, and creates new high-wage jobs for Hoosiers. We have seen tremendous growth in technology transfer with hundreds of patent applications, invention disclosures, and intellectual property licenses. Indiana University's new medical education centres in South Bend and Fort Wayne, along with business incubators and tech parks in Kokomo, Richmond, and New Albany, demonstrate the impressive depth and breadth of IU's institutional impact across the state. But we cannot stand still. Our newest economic development initiative unveiled today is called Innovate Indiana. It will consolidate all of the university's economic development activities and in turn provide a single point of contact for our partners. It will invest in and coordinate IU's economic development activities across the state. It will reinvigorate our efforts to turn the innovation of our faculty into new products, services and treatments, and will help better connect the business community in Indiana better connect the business community in Indiana, the nation and the world to IU. The first major initiative under Innovate Indiana will be the construction of a new Indiana University incubator facility in Bloomington. We will also consider a further facility in Indianapolis, as I described a moment ago. The renewed energy we will bring to our statewide engagement will be matched by the energy that animates our glorious tradition in the arts and humanities. That tradition is based first and foremost on the eminence of our outstanding scholars. From language and literature to the fine and performing arts, they have established IU's programs as among the finest in the world. They have contributed immeasurably to providing a true liberal education to generations of IU students. It is our intention to build on this remarkable legacy and to expand even further our ability to pursue research and education in international affairs and foreign languages and cultures, in the humanities and social sciences. We will construct a new, sorely needed international studies building at IU Bloomington that will house many of our leading departments, programs and centres in these areas. This new building will also contain major new classroom facilities specifically designed to support education in these fields. We will also launch planning for facilities at IUPUI to support IU's international strategy. IU's reputation in the arts and humanities is also based on the superb facilities championed by successive IU presidents. The magnificent auditorium in which we are now gathered opened in 1941 with the vision and determination of President Bryan and Chancellor Wells. Appropriately, it is the location of tonight's inauguration concert. Nearby we have the Musical Arts Centre, home annually to close to 1,000 operas, ballets, symphonic concerts and other musical events performed by the students and faculty of IU's peerless Jacobs School of Music. Behind me is the modern Lee Novell Theatre and Drama Centre and the Neil Marshall Black Culture Centre, which, along with the Latino, Asian and Native American centres, celebrates the rich diversity of American culture and heritage. Behind you is IU's treasured art museum, designed by one of the leading architects of the 20th century, I.M. Pei. In another week, we will celebrate the 25th anniversary of its opening. Also close by, our libraries are dominated by the massive collection of the Wells Library and the masterpieces of the incomparable Lilly Library. If we cast our vision even further, we will see the vibrant arts community at the Heron School of Art and Design at IUPUI and the regional centres of art and culture on all of our campuses around the state. Our magnificent facilities serve our communities. They are, for the humanist and the artist, the equivalent of the laboratories or the supercomputers of the life scientist or the computer scientist. But there is one art where IU has, for decades, had a superb scholarly reputation, but where there are no facilities, and this is film. To address this need, we will immediately begin the conversion of the old University Theatre, just yards away from us, into a state-of-the-art facility that will support the scholarly study of film in its traditional and modern forms. It will also provide a vital tool for the education of generations of IU students as a venue for the exploration of the humanities, world cultures and social sciences through the lens of film. This exploration will draw upon our remarkable cinematic collections, including our Black Film Centre archive, the David Bradley Film Collection, and our General Library Collection, which together contain tens of thousands of items. The conversion of the University Theatre will also allow us to provide additional classroom facilities to support the study of theatre and drama in a renovated backstage area. Indiana University is a truly international university. President John Ryan described IU as a university not bounded by campus or national borders. It is to be found where it is needed, where it is welcomed, where its faculty teach and study and serve, indeed, where they come from. Looking beyond Indiana's physical borders, in a flat world, a more uncertain world, and a more competitive world, the best programs in most professions and disciplines will increasingly require a period of study abroad. In turn, students will demand this as a part of a world-class education. Already, 20% of the students here at Bloomington, for example, have studied abroad by the time they have graduated. In the future, we will need to support many more IU students studying abroad. To increase further the number of IU students participating in study abroad programs will require targeted funding and new and expanded relationships with foreign universities. To find this funding, we must again turn to our friends and supporters. When I meet with the IU Foundation Board tomorrow morning, I will ask for their assistance in raising a major new endowment to support scholarships for studying abroad by IU undergraduate students. This builds on Ed Hutton's remarkably generous gift, which we celebrated just yesterday. This will also ensure that scholarships are available to allow low-income and minority students to participate in these vital opportunities. The extraordinary economic growth and development in Asia provides rich opportunities to expand and deepen our relationship with the best universities there. Study abroad opportunities at such universities will help prepare our students for the global future that will also serve the interest of the state of Indiana. My first visit abroad as President will be next month to China. We will also work to strengthen our traditional relationships with universities in Europe and seek to identify new opportunities in Africa, like IU's exceptional Nobel Peace Prize nominated AMPATH project, carried out in collaboration with Kenya's Moi University. We must also look for new opportunities in Central and Latin America and in the Middle East. We look to our own history of change and renewal as we approach these global horizons. My theme has been one of the pursuit of academic excellence and the change and renewal in which we must engage to sustain and ensure it. I accept these challenges with enthusiasm, though I harbour no illusions that they will be easy. I ask every faculty member, every staff member, every student, every alumnus and friend of IU, indeed every citizen of Indiana, to join me in this pursuit of excellence. We must rededicate ourselves to our core missions of education and research and to our engagement in the future of the state. As Winston Churchill put it, we must strive to combine the virtues of wisdom and of daring. We must move forward together, united and inexorable. I want to conclude then by reflecting on our broader purpose, perhaps our deepest purpose. Imagine a world where there is abundant and cheap information technology playing a productive part in every aspect of society. Imagine a world where the promise of the genomic revolution has come to fruition, where fully personalised medicine is a reality and disease and illness have been conquered. Imagine still a world where the promise of clean, renewable energy has become a reality, a world where food is plentiful, where the grip of poverty is broken. Such a world sounds utopian. But each of these goals is, at root, the aim of all the researchers in the areas I've mentioned today: the life and health sciences, technology, environmental science, many of the social sciences and others. What problems are left, then, with which our scholars can engage? The deepest problems of them all: the nature of consciousness, of the good, of justice, of truth, of beauty, the profound questions of the great religions, the endless cycle of artistic creation, the deepest questions of mathematics, the nature of scientific laws, and what some philosophers have called the fundamental problem of metaphysics: why is there something rather than nothing? These eternal questions have been confronted by some of the greatest minds of the human race. They have been the proper preserve of universities since the scholars of Nalanda gathered for study, since the library at Alexandria saw the likes of Euclid and Archimedes. They are the kinds of questions that universities will try to answer centuries from now, and they are the kinds of questions that the faculty and students of Indiana University try to answer every day. They are the questions that form the very heart of a liberal education. So, with one eye on these eternal questions, and with one eye on our weighty duty as a public university, let us move forward together and redouble our efforts to ensure that Indiana University will be one of the greatest universities of the 21st century. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President McRobbie. Your vision for Indiana University inspires and energizes us. It also makes me feel challenged, but I accept and we accept the challenge. We share your aspiration for this great university and pledge our support to help you realize them. The entire university community offers you not only its warm best wishes, but also the best that is within each of us to make your vision for this university come true. We come now to the conclusion of this inauguration ceremony. Let me again thank all of our musicians for the splendid music they've provided for us today. Please join me in expressing that appreciation. We thank the Inaugural Steering Committee, whose good work shaped today's ceremony. But we would especially like to thank all of you, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates, special guests, faculty, students, and staff, for your presence here today. By your participation in this inaugural ceremony, you've signified your affirmation of Indiana University's place among the world's great educational institutions. I remind you that you're cordially invited to a reception honoring our new president around Showalter Fountain outside the doors. And we'll conclude the ceremony today by singing our alma mater, Hail to Old IU, led again by Austin Canese. For our guests, the words to the alma mater are on page 19 of your program. Following the singing, we ask that you please be seated and remain seated for the recessional of the platform party, the delegates, and the faculty. Now will you please rise?
Join in song together, shout with might.